In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on November 2nd, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Wisconsin versus Iowa. The Iowa Hawkeyes will host the Wisconsin Badgers on Saturday evening at Kinnick Stadium, and fans can expect an intense showdown between these 2 longtime Big Ten rivals. Even without divisions, this matchup remains one of the most compelling in the conference, consistently drawing attention from fans across the country. The Badgers come into the game with a 5-3 record, having faced some ups and downs throughout the season, but they are still in a position to finish the year on a strong note. Iowa, on the other hand, has a favorable schedule in the coming weeks, which has set them up well to build on their momentum. The Hawkeyes have also won the last 2 games in this rivalry, including a 9-point victory last season, and they'll be looking to extend their success against Wisconsin with another win at home. Adding to the excitement, the Hawkeyes will be wearing their all-black uniforms for a blackout theme at home, further energizing the crowd at Kinnick Stadium as they take on a tough Wisconsin team. Although both teams will be relying on backup quarterbacks for this game, Iowa's formidable defense stands out as a major advantage. The Hawkeyes' defense has been relentless in forcing turnovers this season, notching 10 interceptions so far, which should create significant pressure on Wisconsin's Breeden Locke, an inexperienced quarterback who has shown a tendency to be careless with the ball. Playing in the hostile environment of Kinnick Stadium could make it even more challenging for Locke to avoid costly mistakes, potentially leading to short field opportunities for Iowa's offense. Additionally, Iowa's new starter, Brendan Sullivan, has injected fresh energy into the offense, which has struggled at times this season but has shown signs of life in recent weeks. Meanwhile, Wisconsin's ongoing quarterback struggles, coupled with their issues in stopping the run last week, make it hard to imagine them turning things around against Iowa's run-focused offense. With one of the best home field advantages in college football, Iowa has the upper hand. With the home field advantage, a stifling defense, and well-tuned special teams, the Hawkeyes look solid heading into this matchup. Therefore, the Iowa Hawkeyes to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Both teams will be starting backup quarterbacks who are relatively untested, especially in the high-stakes atmosphere of a Big Ten rivalry. Iowa's Brendan Sullivan brings a bit of mobility to the offense but is still settling into the system, while Wisconsin's Breeden Locke has struggled with consistency and turnovers in recent starts. Neither quarterback is expected to put up big numbers on the scoreboard, making a high-scoring game unlikely. Iowa's defense is another reason to lean toward a low-scoring affair, as this unit excels at shutting down opposing offenses and has a knack for keeping games tightly contested, especially in the charged atmosphere of Kinnick Stadium, where visiting teams have historically had difficulty scoring. The Hawkeyes currently lead the Big Ten in points allowed and boast an elite secondary that has been highly effective at forcing interceptions. Given Locke's propensity for mistakes, he could face significant challenges moving the ball, further limiting Wisconsin's offensive potential. On Iowa's offensive side, Sullivan's mobility adds a small spark, but the Hawkeyes remain committed to a run-heavy approach led by Caleb Johnson, along with short, controlled passes that minimize risks. As usual, special teams will play a critical role for Iowa, especially with Caden Wedgen's big play potential on returns. However, even with Wedgen's abilities, Iowa will likely focus on conservative play, relying on their defense and running game to control the tempo. Although Iowa has seen a few higher-scoring games this season, this matchup against a Big Ten rival known for a similarly defensive style is set to be a low-scoring battle. Iowa's game plan will likely focus on grinding down Wisconsin's defense through the running game, aiming to wear them out over time. Wisconsin's own issues at quarterback are a barrier to scoring, which will likely lead to more reliance on their defense as well. Both defenses are expected to dominate, making points scarce and creating challenges for both offenses, particularly for those betting on the total score. Therefore, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Kentucky versus Tennessee. The 7th-ranked Tennessee Volunteers are riding a wave of momentum following a signature victory over Alabama in Knoxville. This triumph marked only their 2nd win against the Crimson Tide since 2006, a significant achievement that has energized both the team and its fans. Meanwhile, the Kentucky Wildcats have experienced a challenging season, currently sitting at 3-5 after what initially looked like a promising start. Their season opened on a high note with an upset win over then top 10 Ole Miss, but they've since struggled to maintain that success. Historically, these two teams have faced off 119 times, with Tennessee dominating the series at 84-26-9. Their rivalry dates back to their first meeting in 1893 when Kentucky won with an impressive 56-0 victory. However, since 1985, Tennessee has held a commanding edge, going 36-3 against the Wildcats. Kentucky's only wins during that stretch came in 2011, 2017, and 2020, underlining Tennessee's dominance in recent decades. Kentucky's 3-5 record this season reflects both their potential and their shortcomings. They nearly upset Georgia and managed a solid victory over Ole Miss, but recent losses to Vanderbilt, Florida, and Auburn have sent them on a 3-game skid, placing them at the bottom of the Southeastern Conference standings. In contrast, Tennessee boasts a 6-1 record with notable wins over NC State, Oklahoma, and Alabama. However, their only blemish is a loss to Arkansas, and they narrowly avoided another in an overtime win against Florida. Both teams have been inconsistent this season, displaying flashes of brilliance alongside puzzling struggles. The game promises intrigue, as each team's performance could provide insight into their prospects for the rest of the season. Tennessee has built its reputation around an explosive offense since head coach Josh Heupel took the reins 4 years ago. Under Heupel, the Volunteers ranked in the top 10 offensively in his first 2 seasons, although they dropped to 37th last year. This season, their offense has bounced back on paper, currently ranking 13th nationally. Yet, since entering Southeastern Conference play, Tennessee's offensive production has cooled to an average of 21.5 points per game, which would rank 110th nationwide. Encouragingly, the Vols' defense has significantly improved this year and is among the top units in the country. The defense allows an average of only 12 points and 259 yards per game, ranking 3rd nationally. Impressively, this defensive performance has held steady in conference play, limiting opponents to just 17 points per game on average. Kentucky, while boasting a strong defense, has one of the nation's most lackluster offenses. Although these teams share a defensive focus, Tennessee's offensive edge could prove decisive. With their offensive firepower and a bye week to prepare, Heupel is likely to have some effective strategies ready to keep Tennessee's scoring output high. There's a real possibility that Kentucky may be one of the weakest teams in the Southeastern Conference this season. Their offense has been nearly absent, and quarterback Brock Vandagriff has struggled to make an impact, echoing why he was never a standout at Georgia. While Tennessee's offensive performance has faltered since Southeastern Conference play began, this game provides a favorable matchup for the Volunteers, even as Southeastern Conference underdogs often perform well in conference games. So the Texas Volunteers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Volunteers have been averaging 33 points per game this season, and with Kentucky's defense missing key players due to injuries, Tennessee is well positioned to exploit every scoring opportunity. Quarterback Joe Milton and the Tennessee offense have recently found their rhythm, particularly evident in their impressive victory over Alabama. Against a weakened Kentucky defense, the Volunteers have the potential to contribute significantly to the game's overall point total. Kentucky's offense, while inconsistent, has shown flashes of capability. Quarterback Gavin Wimsatt, though still gaining experience, could find some success against a Tennessee secondary that has occasionally struggled with coverage. Although Kentucky's offensive line may struggle to sustain long drives, a few timely big plays or even a favorable field position from a turnover could lead to quick scores. With Kentucky's injury-weakened defense and Tennessee's potent offense, this game has the makings of a high-scoring affair. Both teams are likely to keep the scoreboard active, with Tennessee especially eager to ignite the home crowd under the lights. Given both teams' potential to score, particularly Tennessee's high-powered offense, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Pittsburgh versus SMU. This Saturday, November 2nd, marks a highly anticipated showdown between two undefeated Atlantic Coast Conference teams, each with championship aspirations on the line. The number 18 Pittsburgh Panthers will travel to face the number 20 SMU Mustangs in a matchup that could be pivotal in determining the conference standings. Entering this game, Pittsburgh boasts an impressive 7-0 overall record, along with a 3-0 record in Atlantic Coast Conference play. Meanwhile, SMU stands at 7-1 overall overall and remains undefeated in conference play at 4-0. Both teams are looking for a defining win that could bolster their path to the Atlantic Coast Conference Championship, making this game a critical moment in each team's season. This matchup features two closely matched teams, and the winner will gain a significant edge in the race to secure a spot in the Atlantic Coast Conference Championship game. From my perspective, the betting line heavily favoring SMU seems a bit exaggerated, as Pittsburgh's formidable defense could make all the difference. The Panthers' defense ranks 9th in the nation against the run, which could be crucial in containing SMU's offense. Although both teams' quarterbacks sustained injuries in their previous games, both are expected to suit up for this high-stakes encounter. SMU's last month has been spent on the road, so returning home could add pressure for the Mustangs, especially given their 3-3 record against the spread when favored. In contrast, Pittsburgh is undefeated against the spread as an underdog and has been successful in covering the spread on the road. Both teams come into this matchup ranked within the top 25 and hold leading positions in the Atlantic Coast Conference standings, underscoring the game's significance for each side. While Pittsburgh has faced a relatively easy schedule so far, they have capitalized on their opportunities, including a dominant performance against Syracuse last week. On the other hand, SMU narrowly escaped with an overtime win against Duke despite a series of errors. This suggests some potential vulnerabilities in SMU's game that a disciplined Pittsburgh team might exploit. This game feels like a favorable setup for Pittsburgh from a betting perspective. SMU's narrow 1-point win over Duke revealed some weaknesses that could be problematic against a Pittsburgh team firing on all defensive cylinders. Currently, Pittsburgh's defense allows an average of only 22 points per game, and I anticipate them stepping up here to make a substantial impact. With Holstein likely to perform better in this game, Pittsburgh's offense has a strong chance of scoring enough to cover the spread as underdogs. So the Pittsburgh Panthers to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Defensively, both Pittsburgh and SMU are among the top teams in the conference, particularly in terms of stopping the run. This defensive strength suggests that the game will likely be low scoring, as each team is expected to limit the other's possessions, keeping the clock running and reducing scoring opportunities. Pittsburgh's defense has been so effective that 4 of their 7 games this season have hit the under, thanks to their ability to slow down opponents. Given the high stakes and defensive prowess on both sides, this game has the potential to be a tight, low-scoring affair as each team strives to keep its Atlantic Coast Conference title hopes alive. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.